How lovely was that? What a blast from the past. Takes me back to the good old days of COVID. Come on, let's have another one of those. 3 streams a day, you can't knock it. Right, let me just check. Tim's down there in the digital green room waiting. He's only got an hour because he's got a job. Good lad. I've got me, don't need me headphones for this. I've got my water, I've got my syphilis, got my notes. Watch the magic work. Timmy!
It's like it's the first time you've done this, Chris. You know what I mean? It's like, you've been doing this forever.
Well, this is the illusion. It appears like it's the first time I've done it, but very quickly into a stream, people go, I've heard this one before. It's about, we've worked out, it's about an 8-month cycle of stories and, little bits.
Okay.
That, and people go, oh, yeah, this one. But, they seem to like it. We crack on.
Enough, yeah.
I
like the music.
Well.
The music's lovely. But you're looking pretty good as well. How are things going? Haven't seen you for a long time.
I went to hospital. I've got issues, Tim, that have been affecting me.
Okay, that's all right.
Similar ones that you've had. Oh no, I went to get better. I went to. I don't like to go into the details for professional reasons, and because although my channel is an open book, I do still have a private life. But put it like this: day one of going to get a bit of treatment, I came round in Chiang Mai ICU with a drip and all heart monitors and all that sort of stuff, which I left against medical advice. Anyway, I've come back to life since then, though. They told me I'd die if I left, and I had to make a decision that I was going to die if I stayed. I think I'm still alive. Could be a dream.
Yeah.
Could be awful.
Yeah,
you can all read about that if you want on my Substack. Top link in the description. Totally free. That story is called Horse, Horse, Tiger, Tiger. Beautiful bit of writing. Let me get the grift out of the way, Tim. Most people know. Buy me a coffee and entropy, top of the YouTube chat. Super chat at the bottom of the YouTube chat. If you use buy me a coffee, though, you get your own personal 30-second, usually very tired and uninspiring reply video. So, something to think about. I don't run adverts on my channel because no one wants to give me them. Tim, your channel's blown up, doing very well.
I wouldn't say it's blown up, Chris. I don't go after it. Like, I don't go after the views. I go after just putting stuff out. I'd rather it was all about aviation content still, but we can't, can we? Because right now there's more pressing matter that we got to deal with, unfortunately.
I've just got to let people know. Oh, I already did, but Tim hasn't got a lot of time. He said he's got
an hour, Chris. An hour.
Okay. But what you were just saying, but when we talk, me and Tim, I fucked up here, people. I'm not putting this on Tim, but me and Tim were going to do some kind of affiliate marketing, and I told a military man, say this, advertise this product. Now, Tim, not being an advertiser or a performer in that sense, he read the script. He'd done it. And I said to him, you can have another go at that, give it a bit more. And he said, it was quite a harsh one, actually. He got back to me and said, I'll do what I'm told to do. I've done what you asked me. In fact, this isn't verbatim, but Tim's nodding his head. I think it's a fair representation of the reply.
I think what you asked me to do, Chris.
If you don't tell me what to do, I'm not going to do it. And I stepped back. But what was amusing for me was around that time, you had about 25, 30,000 subscribers. But I've still got that footage. And I'm keeping it warm until you're on 2 million.
No, do it. Seriously, drop it like it's hot, honestly. I'm a big fan of that stuff. It's going to hit us all. The thing is, Chris, putting us out there, you know what I mean? Putting all that stuff out there, it's going to come back to us. I've got no issue with that whatsoever. Because you know what? The funny thing is, we can change our minds as well, can't we? So if someone picks me up on something or says, Tim, you used to think this. No, I used to. I don't anymore.
I done a stream, not a stream, I made a video about it. I feel myself talking fast because usually I'll do a 3-hour stream. But this hour thing, I usually ramble before the stream starts for about an hour.
Yeah, but we haven't got time for that.
Get it into my head, that ain't going to happen. Yeah, I done a video a few months ago, maybe, about saying I don't know.
Yeah.
Just if you're in a debate, a conversation, whatever, if you don't know, this weird society has sort of inflicted this idea that you have to have an opinion on something. You have to know something about it, or just deceive, word salad it, ping it back to them. But the power of saying, I don't know anything about that.
I did a video on Israel and Palestine a few weeks ago about that, and I got so much hate because I said basically this is a super nuanced conflict. Both sides have got massive issues, haven't they? You know what I mean? And it goes back generations, like centuries before I was even, you know what I mean? It's how on earth is anyone supposed to know what's right and wrong in that? You know what I mean? No one's right or wrong.
I don't even know how old it is. When you say
I don't even. I mean, exactly. It goes back to biblical lands. I got so much hate from it. I got told I think I got told from this by the same guy that I was anti-Semitic, and that I was a lover of Jews or something. And I was like, the same ex-military. Well, no, still military guy who, of course, very closed-minded. I was like, mate, the whole point of the video is I'm saying I don't know. How can I? I'm not even taking a side. You know what I mean? What's going on? It's crazy.
But you were accused of loving Jesus.
No, anti-Semitic and loving Jews.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Jesus.
No, Jews. I don't understand it. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, if people attack my homeland, I'm going to defend it and all that stuff. And it's just that, but I don't know. And also, I'm a big fan of going, I'm not interested in that. Does it affect me? No. I've got other things that affect me, Chris, which we need to talk about, of course, but that doesn't affect me right now.
Well, let's get into it then. Let's do it. So I watch Tim's videos occasionally. I'm not like a regular, but I don't watch a lot of. Here's the weird thing, and it will come into this conversation. The reason I don't watch dissident right content so much anymore is because I'm not learning anything new. I'm learning about, for instance, new forms or manifestations of like the Epping thing. I now know what's happened in Epping. I found out that they've been transported to Canary Wharf, which is really weird. The police denied it. The police denied coaching for Black Bloc into Epping. So I just found, when I was writing to this about 7, 8 years ago, it depressed the hell out of me all day long. And I'd see all the same people in the chat of every net, and be like, oh, we're going to watch this fella. Then when he finishes so-and-so streams, then when he finishes, depressed the hell out of me, really took me down.
Well, I said the other day on one of my videos, I said, someone posted in the comments there, Chris, they said, you know what, this is really getting to me now mentally. I'm going to have to take a break from watching these kind of videos. And I said, I completely agree with you, mate. I said, I'm going to post more of my school content because I teach people in a school, and also I've just started motorcycling. I'll do some more motorcycling videos, go somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because that's healthy content. And and then someone wrote in the comment, Chris, they wrote, if you stop doing this, if you stop doing it, then it's gonna ruin your reputation, from some anonymous guy in the comments. And I was like, what are you talking about, mate? You and I can decide what to put on our content. It's not, you know what I mean?
You understand a little bit of how I felt when you said what you said, the similar kind of thing. So
tell me how you felt. Go on, tell me how you felt.
No, I'm going to. Mate, man. But that comment you just said about I'm going to make less of this sort of stuff. For people who don't know, Tim's been on my channel a few times. Have I been on yours? I think I've been on yours, but we've certainly talked a few times. Tim used to fire, well, occasionally, jet bomber, like proper jet plane in the RAF, bombs and all that. And when I asked him what his most, me, ignorant, never been at war or anything, get too much adrenaline even to have a street fight. His best story was when he chose not to drop a bomb, and I use that when I'm writing stories. Actually, there's a thing a writing teacher called Jack Grapes talks about called a transformational line, And that fits very nicely into the other side of the same coin. When you want a character to make a change, it gets a bit more complicated.
Yeah, go on. I'm interested. Go on. I love writing.
To give you an example, if you say, how could I flip another line?
Is it what you think they're going to say, but they say something else?
Well, it's not about prediction or anything, but it's about how you get to deeper thoughts. So, for instance, if you were to say, hang on, it's hard to think of one without an example. Hang on, I am doing it, but it's hard to work it out. Right. So if you say, I'm not doing anything, your character might say, I'm not doing anything. Well, the opposite side of the same coin, the other side of the same coin, if you're not doing anything, you are doing something. So that's the deeper thought. So from there, where do you go? So what are you doing? And that's how you keep. And there's other little tricks to move it down. But yeah, that not bombing, it fitted quite nicely into that. And I made a reaction video to that, the video about the transformational line in writing, and the Jack Grapes Foundation emailed me and asked if they could use it on their website. Oh man,
that's amazing.
Tim, when you're a failed writer, you dine out on crumbs like that. Like
there's no failed writers. There's no failed writers, Chris.
Oh no, there is. Trust me.
You say that. I don't believe that. I read something on someone's Substack this morning, and I was like, mate, that's amazing, because I wrote that years ago. Because I haven't written anything since. I was like, it's a really good story, about guy growing up in homeless and all that kind of stuff. Really, really good, really enriching. I just stuck to it. Read the whole thing. Very rare we do that nowadays, isn't it? Read something from beginning to end. Good writing. Yeah. Very raw writing. Very open sort of writing. You know what I mean? Look, we've got to talk about, Chris, because I'll hurry you along, because I'm disciplined and we've only got an hour, about the fact that you're upset because I told you couldn't speak about England. We've got to chat about that, Chris.
Well, I'm on it now. So people, this was part of an 18-minute video. Now, most of my subscribers will know this is not my first rodeo about being told I can't talk about England because I don't live there. So I'll play the clip, and I'm just watching Tim and enjoying it and that, and here it is. I won't play the whole 18 minutes. I'll just play like 30 seconds. Why is it telling me I'm still sharing a screen? Right, share screen. 12 years I've been doing this.
It's seamless. That's what it is.
I promise you, if it didn't go like this, people would worry. Right, here we go, people. About 30 seconds of this. I'll turn my mic off. Here we go.
You can't even protect the children at home, mate. How do I know you're going to protect them when you go to war? You can't. So this is the line in the sand. I'll tell you what's depressing me at the moment. There's a lot of YouTubers out there who are shouting a good game. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to mention any names, but I think people on my channel know the people I'm talking about. I've been on their channels before, and now they're living in bloody Spain or something. Look at Richard Tice's partner, Isabel Oakenshaw. I think she's a journalist, preaching about what the UK should do from a penthouse in Dubai. What are you doing, mate? If you're not in the UK, you don't get to speak about it. I've said this before.
That's the line that got me. If you're not in the UK, you don't get to speak about it. Why?
Well, probably caveat with the fact we're both on YouTube, and sometimes you say things that with hindsight we probably could have said a little bit better. And if I was to say that line again, what I would say, Chris, is that if you don't live in the UK, then you probably shouldn't be speaking about the upcoming war that's going to happen in the UK. That would have been a better line, because of course we can also, or I'll tell you an even better line. If you're not in the UK, then don't expect to be listened to by people in the UK when you speak about it, because there's a feeling here. There's a feeling in the water here that people in the UK know, and I know for a fact, because my brother doesn't live in the UK, he hasn't got a clue about what's happening in this country. I mean, he can read about it, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't feel it every day when he's on the street.
Did you say lives in the UK or doesn't?
No, my brother lives in Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah, so I speak to him, he hasn't got a clue, Chris. He hasn't got a clue, mate. I'll tell you why, because I have to give my wife like not pepper spray, because that would be illegal. I don't give a pepper spray, you know what I mean? But my wife, as she carries something on her, I've got nieces and nephews, you know what I mean, that my sister doesn't let go to school. They used to walk to school all the time. Now, because there's an influx in a certain town in the UK, she's in one of the safer towns. She has to make sure that she comes out of work early now to go and pick them up. And they're like 10 and 11 and stuff, you know what I mean? Because she used to let them walk to school. So now it's hitting her financially now. So that's the problem, Chris. And so by all means, talk about it. Absolutely right. But you know what I mean? Unless you're tangibly engaged in like the everyday life of what's happening here in the UK.
But what does that actually mean? Because I am on a computer. We are a globally connected informational sort of world. How am I not tangibly engaged? Or how is anyone who isn't living in the country that they're talking about not tangibly engaged? Are you saying you've got to be suffering? I mean, I don't.
We're not living here, Chris. Let's not be a dick about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be two men talking.
But that doesn't.
When
so
we
let's
walk
say
around London, when we walk around London, I mean, I'll tell you what. When was the last time? Was it Cambodia? When was the last time you heard me speak about Cambodia?
No, never.
Never. Why? Why have I never spoken about Cambodia, Chris?
I don't know.
I've never been there, mate. I've got no idea about it. Now, you've been to the UK. When was the last time you're in the UK?
2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years. I mean, you got 2 years then. Fair enough. You know what I mean? You might have felt some difference. And to be fair with you, when people come back, like have a year apart, they come back another year, they get like a better feeling than almost I do, because the people in the UK are like being bored like slow frogs. You know what I mean?
So being out of the country, so being out of the country can also have its advantages.
Yeah, it can, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what I'm saying. The issue being, right, and I'll tell you the truth here, and I am honest with you, Chris. That's why we can have conversations like this, mate. You know, that's why I come on your show, because you're a real person. I love you for it. The truth is, though, Chris, it's not people that have moved away in the past like you have. I haven't got an issue with that. It's people that are running away now and saying, well, I'll come back when the fight's on. You won't bloody come back when the fight's on, mate. You know, you're not going to, not you, because what I'm talking about is people that are leaving now because of what they see the UK becoming. This is the fight we wanted, surely.
So that's a very different comment. I'll come back when the fight starts.
Well, it's one of many comments. One of many, Chris. I mean,
I can understand why that would, you know.
Yeah, the conversation is nuanced, isn't it? But when I present a video in my car, Chris, you know what I mean? I've just come back from rowing. I've been on the walk for 2 hours. I get myself quite angry. So I listen to something on the radio or whatever, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I see people walking down the street or something like that. I see the defensive nature of some people as well. You know what I mean? I see people that maybe wouldn't have been in the town before. I come back and I'm hearing something and I'm addressing it. And also, we know that putting out content has to be engaging, right? It's got to be entertaining. And so people like the rants, and I don't always put out a rant. Sometimes I get animated, sometimes I don't. And it's genuine. I don't re-record it. I put it out one time only. Sometimes those videos do really well. I get more hate for those videos than any other video I put out, by the way.
Hang on. Well, we're getting a little bit off track, though. So, because what you're saying now is sometimes you say things you haven't thought through thoroughly enough.
Well, I don't script them.
No,
I'll drive back from rowing. It's always on a Saturday, Sunday morning, those videos in the car. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about, the car.
But would you say that line again? I mean, would you say it now? People who don't live in England don't get to speak about it.
I think what I'd probably say now, if I was going to be addressing people like yourself, who are obviously affected by it.
Just your thought. I want to know your thought on people, where they're located geographically, and what, in your view, they're entitled to speak.
Well, I'm addressing the people that have left the UK for a start. So I'm not addressing a Canadian born in Canada, lived in Canada all their life. They can talk about whatever they want. Of course they can. But what I'm talking about is people that have left the UK. And what I'm talking about is people that left the UK like recently, like in the last year or so, that are sat somewhere and then addressing and telling people what to do in the UK. Does that make sense to you?
It certainly does.
Is that more clear? So say you've gone like a year ago.
It's a different comment, though. It is a different comment.
Well, I'm not talking about you who've been out of the country. My brother said this as well. I said, Rick, you've been out of the country for about 12 years. My brother's called Rick. I said he was in Canada, then he was in the Middle East. He's been there for 12 years. He hasn't left the country. He hasn't gone, you know what, I don't want to pay taxes. No one wants to pay taxes. He goes, it's not saying, oh, the country's unsafe, I'm going to leave. You know what I mean? And also, I'll caveat this as well with, people write to me and they say, I've got young kids, Tim. He said, I don't want them. Do you want to talk about school statistics in the UK just briefly so people in your channel can understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
because I know you've got a lot of expats there.
But Tim, they already know. And this is part of why it frustrated me to watch that video. People on this channel have been talking about mass uncontrolled immigration, the effects of Islam, another thing on the UK
Talk about that.
for over 10 years. I mean, do you know Teddy Dutton? Do you know Edward Dutton?
Edward Dutton, I do know Ed Dutton. Yeah, I spoke to him. Yeah,
Professor Edward Dutton. He's released
mad.
20 or 30 books on race, realism, evolutionary biology and race stuff.
Yeah,
That would probably get him locked up in the UK. He lives in Finland. Black Pigeon Speaks. He lives in Finland. Yeah, he's got a Finnish missus. Black Pigeon Speaks, 500,000 subscribers, got banned, got it appealed successfully, does a very good job of talking about what's going on in America and the UK without showing any political bias. So it's just, this is what's happening, here's the numbers, and that's what's kept his channel alive. He lives in Japan. I've got a whole list of names here. Black Pigeon Speaks. You've got Ben Sixsmith, Brit. He's a Brit. He lives in Poland. Philosopher Cat lives in Chile. Aidin Paladin lives in the Channel Islands. He talks about America. Richard Brannon is a digital nomad. Robin Riley, of course.
Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out, Chris. See, what I'm hearing is that you're upset. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, what I'm hearing is when you said that,
I feel you're upset.
I'm not upset. I'm angry.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And let's bring that to the conversation. I sense anger in you, Chris. That's the thing. Yeah. So listen, here's the thing, and I'll tell you right now because I'm honest about it. If someone says to me, Tim, you're a dry drunk, you're an alcoholic. I've stopped drinking about 3 years now, Chris, as you know, mate. If someone said to me, oh, Tim, you want to go drinking again, mate, it's all you think about every day. It doesn't affect me. I don't get angry about it. Why? Because it's not true. There's no truth in it, right? There's no truth. If someone said, oh, Tim, you cheat on your wife the whole time. I don't, mate. I've been with the same woman since I was 19 years old. I'm 50 now. I don't cheat on my wife, all right? I don't do it. Right. So it doesn't affect me. I'm not angry about it because there's no kernel of truth in it. The reason we get angry about it, like if someone said, oh, Tim, your YouTube channel shit, mate, it's failing. I start to go, that makes me a bit angry at that because as you and I know, it's hard to get subs. Some views don't ever happen. Some videos fail.
I'm not sure that the psychology behind anger necessitates
I'm coming on to why I feel that you feel angry about this. That's what I'm saying now.
Because you said I'm not entitled to speak about the UK.
No, because there's some element of truth about it. Because inside you feel that if you're outside the UK, that maybe I'm right.
Right, no. And this is where we get to the second point I want to bring up, which is part of this. At the end of your channel, at the end of that video, I've got it all. I've got the text here, but you already mentioned it. Yeah. You said, Chat GPT wouldn't transcribe it though. I had to go to Grok. But you say, and it's that what you already said. You had a conversation with someone. You said, I'm going to make less of this content because it's depressing. I'm going to get more back to motorbikes and flying or aircraft, whatever. You said that. It's right at the end. It's almost like the denouement of your video. Now, I had to delete nearly 2,000 videos 6 years ago.
I know you did.
Because YouTube just clamped down on nationalism.
Did.
And, I've got very good friends who had the Daily Mirror turning up at their grandparents' house, at their mother's house, and pestered them all night. The proper camping outside because of their YouTube channels. I mean, people are on the offensive. Years ago, when we were the people who were red pilling a very small group of people in England, making massive sacrifices. Do you know Mark Collette?
That rings a bell.
I mean, that you don't know Mark Collette kind of makes my point. The geezer's had about 6 bank accounts closed down. And when you said in that video, I'm all right, I'm self-employed, or I've got my own business, that you're not protected by that.
I'm not saying I am, Chris.
You did in the video. You did in the video. Hang on, let me get to the point.
All right, Colin. Yeah, no, don't want to interrupt.
No one's safe because when you can't take or move money, it's very hard to run a business. Laura Towler's husband done 2 years for putting 2-year jail term, not suspended. He got banged up for putting stickers around. There was a hell of a lot going on, a hell of a lot of sacrifices. I had the Sunday Times, newspaper of record supposedly, say I was grooming teenage Nazis. I had my mother on the phone about that. Like, this all happened a long time ago when people were making real sacrifices. And then at the end of your thing, you say, I'm gonna go back to making more, like, you know, stuff that doesn't depress me. Now, my channel, I learned that going over and over and over the same stuff again, mass immigration, Islam's a problem, and okay, we've sort of got it now. Then we realized that we built a community, and people were helping each other, and the elites, the globalists, have got shot of our communities. We don't have them. Caucasians, whites, whatever you want to call us, the Anglo-Saxon doesn't have a community, doesn't have communities. That's my point. That's exactly my point. And so that's what the channel evolved into. We help each other out. We talk about investing. A lot of people on my channel have made a lot of money because I introduced them to investing. I introduced them to their ISA that they didn't even know existed. You know, we talk about health, we talk about style, we talk about entrepreneurship. It's actually a community, and it is a numbers game as well at this stage. So when you've put like 8 or 9 years working, when you've been called when the world has been told you're grooming teenage Nazis, and you've done all that, and you've taken it, and you've been slapped around the face, and you've taken the knocks, and you've got a YouTube channel that went up to 19,000 in about 6 months. You're thinking, sweet bomb, stopped. It hasn't gone up in 8 years.
Chris, this problem that you have, how is that relevant to me being on your show?
Because
this is a you issue.
Because when someone says, when you're not in England, you don't get to talk about it.
Yeah, but you haven't got to listen to me. Talk about what you want. I might not listen to what you say, because if you're not walking the same streets as I am.
But I respect you, and I think even on this conversation, you've said, if I were to say it again, I'd have said it differently. I'd have caveated.
Yes, I would have said differently. Absolutely right.
Yeah. So my point is, think a bit more, because that sort of thing is dangerous.
Don't tell me what to do, mate. Look, I'm a nice guy. I come on your show, all right? And we can have a toe-to-toe if you want to have a toe-to-toe. I'm happy to stand here right now. I'm happy to point at you in the face, and I'm happy to tell you that I'm not bending for you or any man. Listen, this is a fight the English are having. That's what I'm saying to you right now. That's why I'm on your show, Chris. I'm not bending over. You know, someone the other day said that they were disappointed in me. I was like, oh, fuck yourself, mate. You're disappointed in me. You know the fuck I am.
Tim,
listen,
it's not about...
Chris, I'm telling you right now, mate. I'm telling you right now, because I'm a generous man. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. But what you're telling me, Chris, is these problems you're having. I don't run your YouTube channel. Listen, when I run my YouTube channel, I keep it at a level where it doesn't get banned. Does that make sense?
You don't, actually.
Come back at them. What is it that I'm not making sense at?
There are things in that video. It would only take one person to report them. You wouldn't get a 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes. Hang on. Whoa. My point is, when you say that, there will be new YouTubers who feel, people who don't live in England, who want to be part of it because it is their heritage. They've got family. They believe in it. It means something to them. And there's someone with nearly 200,000 subscribers saying, with gusto, if you're not in England, you don't get to talk about it. And they might be 16, 17, 18. They're already a bit scared going online, showing their face. And they might just think, oh, damn, I don't want all this kind of mouth. Maybe
so
I'm
doing, because what I'm saying is,
I think it was irresponsible.
But Chris,
I think it was irresponsible.
So what? We let everyone leave, do we? Is that what you want? Is that the thing? That's what pisses me off. It's like there's a responsibility in your ancestral grounds to be here and actually stand toe-to-toe with people that are coming in. And I see that Islam has no place in the West. I don't know anyone else that's saying that, by the way. I'm saying it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Hang on. What, you don't... We were saying this 7, 8 years ago. Mark Collette was saying this when he was 18. He was a PR man for the BNP.
What's the issue that you have here? What is the? I don't understand why I'm here because you don't like what I say on my channel. Is that it?
No, I think that one comment was irresponsible, and I wanted to pull you up on it.
You can say what you want. I can say what I want. My audience respond well to that.
Hang on. Okay. But as you said, as people who can have a conversation, do you understand my point that could be damaging to a movement that is already struggling because the elites are all over it? It's almost illegal to be a nationalist. Can
I'm a
you?
nationalist.
Can you? Regardless, it doesn't matter. But do you understand that that could be damaging to a movement? To tell people
the me saying don't comment, or the me saying that we're going to do other content?
No, people saying that if they don't live in the country they're commenting about, they don't
Chris,
get to talk
I'm not
about
backing down over that, mate. Listen, I should have
it.
said it slightly differently.
Backing down about what? Do you not see
down over
that
the fact
be...
that I believe people should be in the UK if they're going to talk about being in the UK. If you could, because the thing is, you haven't got any skin in the game.
So you're going back on what you said earlier. You are standing by that. If you don't,
with the caveats, listen, we can deal with nuance because we're not for. All right. So when we hold people to what we've said, you brought me on here to question me about it, and you're doing that. You're doing a good job of it, and I'm trying to tell you that with hindsight, when I'm in the car and I'm shouting at a camera and all that kind of stuff, sometimes I watch that video back and I'm like, all right, maybe I could have said, if you leave the UK now and in the hour of need, they don't. In the latest video I put up, by the way, at the very end of it, I say exactly that. Like if you're not here when we need you to be, like in the hour of need, they don't expect, if you're not here during our struggles, don't expect to be here during our success. That's what I mean by that, all right? Like, because there's going to be a big, you know how it is, it's very abrasive right now. Things are coming. And all I'm saying is, be part of that. Be part of that. Now, you can be part of that by doing what you're doing if you want. What I'm trying to do is stop people leaving the UK. And I'm trying to stop people leaving the UK like now. The fact you've gone and my brother's gone like 12 years ago or a decade, I haven't got an issue with that because you didn't go because of this, Chris. It's not like you're fleeing because of this. You know what I mean? The people that are leaving now because of this, those are the people I've got an issue with. I'm like, hang on a second, mate. Ancestrally, this soil with the blood of your forefathers, you're leaving that now? You didn't leave because of that, Chris. You left years ago. I'm not talking about that. But how do you express all that in a YouTube video without just saying exactly what I've said? So I don't say that. I'm like, just don't fucking leave. It's pretty simple. Stay with the men. Stay with the men to protect the women and the kids. That's what I'm saying. I'm not addressing people like yourself. The movement you've got out there, fine. I'm addressing the people that have left recently. And now I talked recently. I mentioned Paul Thorpe on my latest video. Now, Paul, watch dealer, nice guy. He thought I was talking about him. He wrote to me. You know what I mean? I wasn't talking about Paul exactly. I was talking generically for the new leavers, as it were, the people leaving because of what's happening in the UK at the moment. I see it differently, Chris. I see it as the fight I've always wanted, mate. That's just me different. I just like, what better could you have as a Christian Englishman on English soil fighting Islam? I don't know what better fight you could have in the world. What you know what I mean? So for me, I'm not leaving because this is what I want. This is all I don't want it. No one wants it. No one wants it, do they? You know what I mean? But no, if you've got to have it, you've got to have it. Fair enough.
Sure. But so I think the whole reason I brought you on was that one comment, which and again, I'll just say it, I'll just summarize so that we can just move on. I think it's potentially damaging to a movement that needs encouragement and a movement that needs numbers. That was why I really didn't like it. And it also came from a place of someone who's been in the game a couple of years. I looked at your channel, your first video you made that was vaguely political was 3 years ago. Then it was about another 8 months until you go into a political one. And when you sort of suddenly come out with, it's a, what's the word? It's a very provocative statement. Now I understand that I do live streams. I do 3 hours just talking gibber. But if I said something like that, I think I know as much as one can that on my following video, I'd say, I just want to address something I said in the last video. I've thought about it a bit more.
But you don't have responsibility. Your people, now, as much as I love your people.
I'm not saying I am. You're making conclusions out of things I'm saying that don't exist.
Well, maybe I am, and if I am, then that's silly. I apologize for that, but I don't think I am. I'm saying that your community here that is extant and is disparate and has been outside the UK for a long time.
I'm talking about the dissident right. I'm talking about the people who we're all a part of. People who want to save their native homelands. People who want Europe to remain European. It's not just me. It's not just you. And you are part of a bigger thing. You are part of a bigger thing.
You don't want to be here. When you talk about dissident right, you mean people that are in Europe still?
I'm talking about.
Are you talking about people that are?
It doesn't bother me where they live. I've got a bloke who used to come here, and his YouTube name was English Loyalist, the English Loyalist, and he done what he could to support the English by spreading memes, whatever. He was a Navajo Indian. Now, if he wants to chip in and help out, yeah, I'll take it. Because if there was another 10,000 Navajo Indians chipping in, yeah, great.
How much use is he to me when it kicks off in my local town there, when he's broadcasting his opinions from Mexico or some shit?
Well, exactly. It's not about one person, is it? It's about the movement.
All right,
that's what I'm saying. And if you're saying it's not a movement, so what is it? Is it your?
No, this is your thing, not my thing. What I'm interested in is, I think we're talking about two different things. For a start, I'm talking about people with a physical presence in England, or I'm talking the UK, whatever, or Europe, as you want to call it. Europe, fine. We'll talk about Europe. People with a physical presence right now in Europe, like people that live here, they trade here, they got family here, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about those people, and I think when you're talking about the dissident right, I don't know. Do you mean people that are not physically in these countries, or
it doesn't matter. It doesnnt matter where they are. It's that they're anti-globalist.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't have an issue with those people. I support them 100%. I'm part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm part of it, so that's cool. I'm not going to not support them. We're on the same side,
yeah,
Chris.
But Tim, when there's a 17-year-old who's just got red pilled, who's starting to make videos, looks up to you, and you say, if you're not in England, you can't do this, and his old man took him out to Bulgaria or whatever.
Yeah, but he's not a bloody idiot. And if he doesn't realise I don't mean him, then he is an idiot and he shouldn't make videos. Look, the truth is, no, come on, Chris, let's be honest about it. I say this about people joining the military as well. Come on, he doesn't believe that for a second. He knows it's not, he didn't decide to go, Chris. It's not the decision, wasn't him saying, like Luke on here, he's commenting in the comments there. Fair play to Luke, he's shouting out. All right, fair enough. Have a read of his comments. He's saying you can't talk about kids if you haven't got kids. I haven't got kids. I don't really talk about kids. I haven't got them. So I don't know what he's talking about, really.
You did speak about
I'm reading your comments here because you're engaging with your audience as well. That's an important thing that we can do, so we include them in what we're saying, because they get a vote. They're on a stream with us. We're not here just chatting me and you. We've got people there that are putting effort into writing comments, and we should be addressing them at some point. There you go.
The thousands of Ulster folk living in Canada and Australia that have always kept the price for a ticket over in case we needed.
There you go.
Do they get to speak about it?
Well, do they get to speak about it? Are they invested in Ulster? Are they walking the streets in Ulster?
Define invested in Ulster.
Well, are they walking the streets, Chris? This is a ridiculous
argument.
No,
they're obviously not. It says there they're living in Canada and Australia.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous argument. It really is.
What? So they don't. They don't.
Let's pick a city. Let's pick Bristol. I know Bristol well. You know Bristol.
No. Let's stick with. You asked me to stick a comment up. I
didn't ask to stick a comment up. I asked us that. I was saying I was reading the comments and that we should invest in the comments. You put a comment up. Let's not get into semantics, because we're just getting into an argument. Let's keep it on message. Keep it on message.
Semantics. This is about semantics. Semantics of words. Yes, this is about words, because words convey meanings. Listen. Do those thousands of Ulster folk living in Canada and Australia, do they get to talk about it?
They can do whatever they want. It's just whether the people in Ulster listen to them. Do you know what I mean? And what I'm saying is, if you've left the UK, and those people in Ulster, I don't think you've like. There's two different things here, Chris, aren't they? Like I talked about it. If people have left years and years ago, of course they can. Of course, it's not about that. They didn't leave because of this. My issue is people leaving because of what's going on in the UK now. I see that as fleeing at a time of need. You know what I mean?
I struggle to see why that is a problem.
Okay.
I think that's why. Right. I think that's why I'm coming up against this brick wall, because, I mean, what are you talking about? You're going to need them taken to the streets with baseball bats and that.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. Right. So, what if everyone did that? What if everyone this year decided they didn't want to be part of this and they left? And what if they left the country full of people that were non-ethnic British, and you go back Britons, we go back whatever years and take it four generations, 5, it doesn't matter, whatever you want to say. What country are we left with then? We're left with nothing, are we? We're left with people that have come in here who haven't got any attachment to this land. There's no ancestry. So what I'm saying is, by all means, go. We all go. We all want to go. And Luke there, I'm sure he's having a great time wherever he is in the last 2 years he left, and he's fine, fair play to the boy, no worries. But unless you're walking the streets that I'm walking right now and you're feeling the energy and the change, unless you're part and parcel of the demonstrations that are happening, unless you're going to the Tommy marches and you're there toe to toe with people that really don't like you very much and you don't like them. You know what I mean? That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what you're talking about here. What you're talking about and the support and the dissident right and everything, that's very necessary. I understand that. No one's saying that. But what you've done is has it got a legacy to it, Chris? It's got a foundation to it. I'm not talking about what you're talking about. You came to me with the problem. I didn't bring the problem to you. I wasn't talking about you in my video.
No, you did. You did, because you published something on YouTube with an opinion.
It wasn't like Chris. It wasn't Chris. I didn't say Chris.
That doesn't matter. I think that should have been. I think it was an ill-considered, if considered at all, comment that you've had to caveat since then, because you won't repeat it and stand by it now.
I will stand by it now for people that are leaving now. For people like yourself. I mean, if that's an issue with you, if I've got to say, right, let's just say people that have been out of the country for 10 years and 8 months and over. Yeah, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people that have left the country within the last 6.5 months, whatever. It's ridiculous. I'm on a YouTube channel shouting at a camera in a car.
It is ridiculous, because this leaving now, you can't put a date on it because it's ridiculous. The people are leaving now. What? 2 months ago? Is that too soon?
Well, if you want to define it, I said already, they're leaving because of what's happening now in the country. So if you're leaving because of what the England is becoming, what you feel it's becoming, now I have caveated it, because I've said, look, if you've got kids, because we know about the schools, if you're worried about where your kids are going to school, if you're worried about your family, then get out, go and do something else. We understand that. No one's willing to. But look, all I'm saying is there are a lot of people that can't leave. They can't afford to leave. And they're doing the jobs that people don't want to do, and they're still here. And I'm the man that's supporting those people. That's why I'm staying. I'm staying because I'm never going to leave these lands. I'll die here. I'm happy to do that. Wrap me in the Union flag, bury me in the ground. That's what I'm about. I'm not leaving for a sunnier place, and then I'm going to point a camera at myself and I'm going to talk about the UK. I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. Right. That's not me. Anyone else can do that. They can get upset by it. I'm saying I'm not doing it. So if you don't like it on the channel, it's not really an issue I have.
Everything you said then was fine. And you said if someone wants to go to a sunnier place, stick a camera in their face and talk about the UK, they can, which is the opposite of what you said on your video.
Chris, I just want to stop you real brief, mate, because I just want to be the guest for a second on your channel. Sure. First off, Chris, I don't care very much about when people take my videos apart and then they want to come back and they want to talk about individual things. It's a channel with a lot of different things on it that we talk about in the moment. It's purely unscripted, and it's going to piss some people off. And okay, if it does that, well, that's an issue that you have. It's not an issue that I have, right? Because
you just said you wanted to talk like a guest on my channel. When I asked you on it, I said, I just watched your video and you said this. Would you like to come on and debate it?
Yes, I did.
And that's what we're doing.
Exactly, and that's fine, and we do that, and that's right, because we're mates, we can do it, all right? But what I'm saying is, because sometimes you're saying, I don't like what you said on your channel. I'm like, I don't care.
There's been more to it than that. I said, I think it's irresponsible. I think it's potentially damaging. You don't care that it's potentially damaging to a movement.
Like,
hang
on,
got your movement. Let me finish the premise, and then you can say whether you care or not.
The premise then, and I'll address that.
You don't care that it's potentially damaging to a movement that really needs numbers. You don't care about that.
Is that what you're asking me now?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I didn't say that, did I? You said that. What I said is I don't care that you find it upsetting.
No, I'm asking you.
No, you didn't ask me anything. You just told me what I thought.
No, I'm asking you now. Do you care?
Okay, ask me a question and go on.
Do you care if that statement is potentially damaging to the dissident right movement? Do you care if anything?
Yes, I do care if it is. Of course I care if it is. If you feel that is, then of course I care it is. Am I going to do anything about it? No, because my audience isn't really the dissident. It's not, my audience isn't your audience, Chris.
No.
My audience is, I'm addressing my audience that write to me, that populate my comments. I can see what's happening in my comments. And in my comments, no one's really saying what you're saying. And even if they did, I'll address that in the comments, because I talk to people in the comments, you know what I mean? But the truth is, my audience is 98% British, like living in the country. It's massive, right? So your audience, I'm assuming, is not. I assume it's more global when you look at your stats or whatever.
No, 83% UK.
I consider it in the UK. All right. Well, we're probably talking to the similar kind of audience then. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people here that can't leave. I'm standing with them. I don't want to leave. And all I'm saying is there's a lot of people. Well, what is a lot? Quantify it. Fine. I'm just seeing people with YouTube channels leaving, which isn't you, by the way, because you're out of the country anyway. So I'm not addressing you. But people that are leaving going, I'm going to move to, let's pick Paul in Spain. I wasn't talking about Paul at the time, but he is in Spain. Apparently he's living there. There's many reasons Paul's living there, by the way, and he's got his issues about family, and I'm not addressing Paul at all. Let's pretend someone's gone to Spain, and then they're pointing out, let's pick Isabel Oakenshaw, whatever her name is, Richard Tice.
Oh, Tim, just it was, I did have a tickle when you said, I'm not going to mention any names, and then the next line you mentioned
Isabel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Isabel, yeah, she does annoy me a little bit. So Richard Tice's partner, living in Dubai, always on the TV here, talking about the UK.
Yeah, I see her.
I don't want that. Do you think that's healthy? That we have to listen to people sat in an apartment in Dubai talking about the UK?
I think if people are further right than centre, it's better than nothing. Yeah, I think the Overton window needs numbers, and some people are at different levels in their red pill journey, and it could be just some housewife who hasn't really been involved in politics is just watching GB News or something and thinks, hang on a minute, I've never thought about that. Then she might dig further deeper into it, and it might change her life, her family's life, and it might change her engagement in the kind of thing we need in the UK to have a movement that can actually affect change.
And I like that. And that's exactly how I feel about it as well. My argument was that she was in the UK and she was talking about the UK, and then she moved away because of the UK to Dubai. Now she's setting another example there, Chris, isn't she?
Can I ask you this? If there, it's a hypothetical, but you've thrown a few hypotheticals at me. Let's say a channel started talking about things that you talk about, talking about what's happening with mass uncontrolled immigration in the UK, blows up 1.5 million subscribers in 6 months, then moves, doesn't want to be in the UK, then moves. According to what you said in this conversation, that person has left. And if they said outright, I don't want to be here, it's horrible, it's dangerous, it's hostile, it's violent, and it doesn't feel like my homeland. According to what you said tonight, that person shouldn't talk about the UK. In which case, the movement, a movement that is connected, some, in different ways, but it's like a sort of a 3D Venn diagram, loses 1.5 million viewers, 1.5 million people who could be getting educated on the kind of stuff you talk about, because you think they bottled it, or sorry, you didn't say that, apologies, but you think they shouldn't have left because it was getting too rough for them.
Well, first,
and so you're happy to sacrifice 1.5 million subscriber channel because of that.
I don't care what they do, Chris. I don't care what they do.
Well, hang on, but
you're
not listening. You're not listening.
I did listen.
You're not listening. You're happy to sacrifice all the influence that person's proven that they've got, simply because they left, because they couldn't hack it. They didn't want to hack it anymore.
Well, what do you mean lose influence? They're still posting, aren't they? They're still talking about the UK. But
hang on. When you say, if you don't live here, you're walking around in circles. You said if you don't live here,
anything, Chris. I'm not talking.
If you don't live here, you're not entitled to talk about it. Then you've modified it somewhat to, if you've moved out recently because it's getting a bit too heavy, then you're not entitled to talk about it. So I've offered you a hypothetical of someone who left 2 weeks ago. So according to what you've said and modified in this conversation, they shouldn't talk about the UK. And don't say you don't care about it, because you said it. You said it. And if you're going to say I don't care, then what are you saying in your videos?
I will.
Do you not care about what you say in your videos? What you say not important? Are you just blabbing? Because I don't think you are. I think it's important.
Chris, stop talking, mate, will you, for a second? Because you've got to let me answer. You know what I mean? When do you want me to answer, Chris? Because you're going on, mate, and I'm trying to I've got 10 minutes.
Go on. That last hypothetical.
All right, the last hypothetical. I fully appreciate. Look, if they carry on posting, Brilliant. Fair play to them. I couldn't care less. They're not standing next to me at any of these demos.
Yeah.
There's no skin in the game. Their wives aren't at risk walking home. I haven't got to go and fetch they're not fetching their wives at home, are they? Not fetching them from work, sorry. They're not going to pick up their kids. They're just talking. And talking isn't going to solve. Okay, talking helps. We all know it. But it's not solving it, is it?
That's all you're doing, though, isn't it?
I'm going to these demos. I'm picking up my wife from work. You know what I mean? I'm actually standing with people's kids at the school down the road here. I don't see you doing that, Chris, because you're not in country, mate. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know you might have done it. I don't even know what to do about this, Chris. You know what I mean? Do you not understand what I'm saying? That when a guy goes out the country and he's out,
it keeps changing.
It gives what
you're saying, because what you're saying keeps changing. At some point, you don't care about it. At the next point, it's if they've left recently.
No, I'm not.
I really don't know. You know, I told you I brought you on here for that one line.
We did that.
And I said to you, would you stand by it? And you said yes, with a caveat that if they've left recently because they couldn't hack it. And then I've asked you, so you think...
We did that in WhatsApp before I even come on, though, Chris. I said that. I said, yeah, well, come on. You posted some text things here. But that's the thing, is that we've chatted about more. We covered that in the first 5 minutes of this, didn't we?
No,
we didn't. All right.
No, I still don't. I feel like you've swerved it continually.
I haven't. Just ask me. I'll tell you honestly. I don't mind. You know what I mean? I'm an open guy. What is it? Okay. What's the issue? What do you want to know?
Well, so
ask me the question. I'll answer it, Chris. I can do it, mate. Seriously, I don't mind. Ask me.
I've asked you, and you still haven't.
What's the question, Chris? Ask me now. We've got 7 minutes. I'll answer. Go on.
Do you not feel that would be a massive sacrifice if people went with your ideas? That he shouldn't be able to talk about it because the geezer with 1.5 million subscribers, because he left a month ago because he couldn't act the situation.
Well, I feel it's a sacrifice. What, to lose that 160,000?
That's not the question. My question is, would you be all right with that sacrifice? When you say, if you're not in the UK and you left recently, you shouldn't talk about it. Do you not remember this? We talked about it.
Yeah, no, I do. I just don't understand what you're saying, though. I'm happy to address it, but I don't understand. Right. Do you mean the guy leaving? The man leaving?
There's a hypothetical. There's a YouTuber with 1.5 million subscribers. He talks about the same stuff as you.
Yeah, he leaves.
Okay. He leaves 2 weeks ago, let's say, because he can't hack it. He doesn't want to live there. Now, your modifier on your original statement that was, if you don't live in the UK, you don't get to talk about it. I think that was what you said.
Yeah, I said that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
So that's it. And so you think that should be the stance. When you say that, you're promoting that to your 200,000 subscribers, and you think that's a good thing. You think that it's all right to sacrifice a channel of that size and influence because they don't live in the UK.
Is that me that's sacrificing that, or is it him that's sacrificing that? I'm not too sure. I don't run his channel. I'm not his channel, Chris. He's his channel. If he wants to go and do that, it's not my sacrificing. You know what I want, Chris? I want people here. I want men here. Men. I want men between ages 16 and 45. That's what I want. I mean, I'm old. You know what I mean? I'll still stand there, but I'm not. You know, I'm going to be taken out in the first wave, mate. That's the problem. I want, it's true though, isn't it? 50, fuck, you know what I mean? So I want men here, and I want men toe to toe with what's happening in this country, because the figures are very different from what we're being told, and it's coming. But the guy wants to take his channel out, whatever, and wants to talk about it. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying don't talk about the UK. I'm saying don't talk about it as if you know what's going on, is what I'm saying. Because a lot of people.
But why wouldn't you know what's going on? I know what's going on in countries I've never been to.
I said people are talking a good game. You know what I mean? He's talking a good game, isn't he? That's what I said. People are going out talking a good game about the UK whilst they've fled the country and they're living outside. I'm not the guy that's left the country. I'm the guy that stayed here. Why am I listening to a guy that's fled the country? Why would I do that?
Because he might be intelligent. Well, hang on. So he might be someone like Edward Dutton. He might have some real insight, have some really good arguments based on evolutionary race realism. That's why you should still listen to him.
And with someone
because he might know more. He might know more than you. He might know more than me. You might have
but I'm
arguments that actually affect change. Because what you're saying to me is there's no political solution and there's going to be a civil war, some kind of war in the UK. That's why you're staying there, to fight.
Yes.
That's your point.
Yes, that's my truth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Is that not clear?
I think it's a good luck. Let's go for the super chat. We got 4 minutes left. Tim, I won't make you suffer the super chats. Thanks for coming on. Good conversation. Enjoyed it. Got the adrenaline going. I hope we're good. Look after yourself. Look after the missus. Anything you want to promote, or you can have the last word.
I'm here because we're mates, Chris, and we can talk about this stuff, mate. That's why I'm here, because I like talking to you. And I like you guys down the side. And some of the comments down there on both, you know, people are for and against it. And what is great is that you've got that narrative going. You know, more so than I have, by the way, because I don't do the live streams. But I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about your people here. You know that already. I'm talking about the guys that leave for Dubai. They're sitting in a penthouse chatting shit about the UK, Chris. Oh, the UK is so shit. You're in a fucking penthouse in Dubai, mate. You left 4 months ago. Those are the guys I'm talking about. And you know I'm talking about those, Chris, as well. You know I am, because I caveated that video, didn't I? I said, if you want to go and talk a good game about the UK whilst living outside it, that's what I said.
We haven't got, well, actually, I could counter that because there's something else you said, but I won't, because we've got 2 minutes. And by the time I've finished my intro, you'll have to go. Tim, send my wishes to the missus. Good luck with the business. Keep the channel going. When you hit 1 million, you'll see yourself advertising lockpicks on my channel.
When you ever go, when you watch my video again, you know, and you want to discuss it, by all means, give me a call. I'll come back on. It's great to be on your channel. I love being here. I love the people down in the chat as well. It's fantastic. So I'm not dissing the scrubs, by the way, whoever that was. Yeah, they always say that.
Bless
Don't
you,
diss the scrubs. All right.
Take luck. Take
good to see
care.
You. Talk to you, all right? See you later, guys.
Mate. Bye. What a nice geezer. What you know, to be able to have that conversation heated. I think it's fair to say it was heated. But I think that probably, I mean, it's conjecture. I would imagine that conversation has actually brought me and Tim closer, because he knows now that I won't beat around the bush when I tell him what I think. And likewise, vice versa, tete-a-tete. I can't think of any more of those idioms. Good stuff. Let's, if you want to, I'm going to go for a load of comments. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere yet. Lovely to see. We had 240 people in here at one point. Lovely. I stream quite regularly, and it's kind of like this, but I usually have a co-host who doesn't say anything, and we talk about anything. We have call-ins where people come on and you can talk like that. You can talk about things like that. I will go through all the super chats. If you definitely want your comment put on super chat or buy me a coffee, I'll get the buy me a coffee page up so I can see those. And let's do them now. Great stuff from Tim. What a stream. What an important, significant stream. A pleasure to do. Okay, here we go. Someone on Buy Me a Coffee said, Thank you, Chris, for helping me with some great laughs over the years. I'm honoured to be counted amongst the scrubs. I will fight cancer till the end as a scrub, Loki. Do you remember the other day, Loki, who's been a scrub for a while now, he come out of the cancer closet, so to say. I'm sure if he's watching, he's probably first time he's heard it called the cancer closet. That ain't easy. And as I said to you, Loki, if you want a video chat with me, we can arrange that. Believe it or not, I can just listen. And if you want someone who's not family or friends or whatever, and who's not going to tell your private thoughts and spread them around anywhere, you've got my email, hit me up. And thanks for the 4 futures you bought me. Someone, which I'm guessing was also Loki, done a test. So thank you for that. Right, we'll do the super chats on YouTube now, and then I'll try and I definitely will do some of the non-super chats, and I'm not just going to find ones that are, you know, on my side or whatever. I'll just pick out some interesting ones. Mousecat said, please ask Tim, is it okay specifically for white people to collect Tavistocks and uphold their white culture above all others? That's gone above my head, Mousecat. I don't know what a Tavistock Tavistock. Is that pagan language or something? 42. Thank you, Mousecat, for the donation and the comment. I'm sorry I didn't get it. 42. We brought yours out earlier. That was an interesting one, and I think you know what side of that particular canal I straddle. We've got another one here from Alexander G. He says, just a token. Oh, a token's a token. Nice token. Alexander G. Hang on. 2 Alexander G's on the bounce. He said, we're not the enemy, Tim. This is a conversation, not a debate. There you go. I mean, obviously, I appreciate a super chat, but I'm not going to discuss how Tim conducted himself in that debate while he's not here, because it feels a little bit. I mean, you can, because you gave that super chat during the chat, but that's a little bit like when the guest has gone. You know, you can sort of start saying mean things and you know, pull the what are they called, the scales of injustice in your direction. But that was your point. Nice one, Alexander. 42 dropped a Lady Godiva in. They are 100% invested in Ulster. He's talking about the tens of thousands who live in Canada and Australia. They are part of our militia. People who ain't a regular on the stream, trust me, 42 is an Ulster loyalist, I think. No, an English Ulster man. I don't know. I'm so confused. He's been there. He's been there. I trust what he says about Northern Ireland. Alexander's dropped another one. White needs to collectivise and organise for our interest. Yeah, and that's what this channel's done. You know, that's why we talk about how to improve your life. We've talked about how to motivate yourself. We've talked about yoga. We've talked about going to the gym. We've talked about being an entrepreneur. We've talked about how to look better. You know, I know I sit here in the 38-degree heat with no shirt on, but we talk about looking good, because you get treated better when you look good. That's what this channel does, because we, as you know, as Tim said at the end of the video, he's going to stop doing so much stuff because it's so depressing. He's going to start talking about things that are interesting again, which is what this channel done. Delta, Tim is the RAF. Still a good organisation to join these days. I can't speak for Tim, but I'm guessing he wouldn't agree with you based on what I've heard him and what I've seen him say about the RAF. But you know, fair play to him for going through all that training and flying a fucking jet bomber. I mean, when he's been on it before, trust me, it's like I'm talking to Rambo. Got a lot of respect for Tim. Thank you for the donation. Linda's gifted a membership. So you have to have go into your YouTube settings, and you have to set it so that if someone gifts a membership, you can accept it. Someone the other week, I think it might have been Mr. Gold. Apologies if it wasn't. It might have been Mr. Gold that gave out 7 Scrubs bricks. But someone gave out 7 memberships, and YouTube will randomly allocate those. But if you haven't got that toggled on, I can accept free memberships, you won't get one. I don't know whether you get a month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year, but someone will get that. Thank you, Linda, darling. That's lovely. Alexander again. Dude, I've been a scrub since years and years. Just cycled through accounts. Yeah, just goes round and round. Cheers, Alex. That's it. So let's have a look. I'll go back over to this one. I'll check entropy as well. Sorry, people. I did set up entropy, didn't I? I'll check entropy. Entropy not being so popular. Oh, John Palmer has donated on Buy Me a Coffee. 3 futures over there. Nice one, JP. And he says, great stream, bruv. I liked him, even though he's a crab and a sivnat. But he's still on his journey. Big love to both of you. I loved him. He's a great fella. I don't really want to make comment on him while he's not here after the stream. Thank you for that, John. All those Buy Me a Coffee donations. I've finished a new novel. It's going to be in the shops before Christmas. So all the new Buy Me a Coffee donations are going to go towards getting the cover done. I've got to get that cover done by the middle of October at the latest. So as soon as it gets the middle of October, whatever's in that kitty goes to a professional cover designer. And trust me, people buying books on Amazon judge them by their cover. If I pay 400 quid for a cover designer, I'll probably sell a 50th if I was to pay $3,000 for a cover designer. Now I've got $1,000 tucked away that I've been saving up of donations for the last couple of years. Massive appreciation, because I want to pay about $3,000. You know, I didn't stay up every night for 8 weeks and work all day and become a zombie to have a cover done on Microsoft Paint. Nice one, JP. Very kind. Let's see. All seen Otto agreed with Tim at some point on the way. Pag said, so the USA should never have supported the UK because they're not in the UK. This was one of my debates, you know, like Black Pigeon Speaks lives in Japan. But again, the comment that Tim made, he didn't stand by, he modified it. So that's fair enough. And that's why I had the conversation. Charlie Sparkle says, nah, why do you think they're no longer in the UK? Little bit out of context, so I don't really know what you're responding to there, Charlie. Mousecat's dropped another donation. Chris, I meant collectivise. Okay, let me try and go and read that one back. I was thinking, what the fuck is it? I mean, I know Tavistock is a place. So here we go. Tim, is it okay specifically for white people to collectivize and uphold their white culture above all others? So that was just a general. I think, again, I don't want to say anything against or for Tim. I because I couldn't understand it at the time, I didn't get to ask him the question. Sorry, Mousecat. Appreciate the other donation. Mad Lizzie, hello Mad Lizzie, how are you, darling? Have you sorted yourself out? You were on the old razzle last time we spoke. I think we both went wrong at the same time, didn't we? Yeah, not pleasant, but there you go. We both come out alive again. It won't always happen though, darling. And she says, I've only ever been hit by a white man. Black men must kiss their teeth, lol. I don't know what that means. Please don't get rid of my channel, YouTube. Thank you, Mad Lizzie. Be less mad, Lizzie. Wasn't Mad Lizzie the aerobics instructor on Good Morning Britain of Anne Diamond and Nick Ross? I feel like it was. Alex has dropped another one. Yes, yes, and yes. I think that was about white collectivization. Right, let's try and get some more of these other comments in. Anglo-Saxon, sorry you didn't get a reminder for this one. Looks like you didn't need it. I think I forgot because I put the link out a few days ago. So and you made it. So all good. Tim Davies is the man. Yeah, for sure. Charlie says, so he thinks the people who left the UK aren't aware of these things. I was aware of that phenomenon way back in the 90s when I lived there. I'm well aware how much worse it must be now. I'm aware of what's going on in Sri Lanka, and I've never even read a National Geographic about Sri Lanka. We live in a globalist world where I'm sitting in front of the biggest library the world has ever known. It's not difficult to find information, and ironically, in the middle of that video, there's the video in question. There's an advert for Ground News. I mean, can you imagine On the Offensive, Mark Collette, The Iconoclast, me, any of all those channels back in the day getting a sponsor? I've only ever, in 12 years, I've been offered one sponsorship. First one to put it in the chat gets 10,000 scrub points. Hello, Alan. How are you, son? Turnaround mindset. Yeah, that was the phrase I should have used. It's easier when you just let it happen. Yep, he's absolutely got, which is all right. I've got, yeah, I think people on the right should be sponsored. People, again, people who've been around a while. Do you remember when people used to slag me off for getting donations? The left don't do that. The left don't slag each other off when their channels are getting supported. They encourage it. Why wouldn't you? You know, you get more content if I get more donations because I can sacrifice the time and not do my paid work. You know, that's right. It was the bum fanny. Pizzle came in with it. Fitzy Cazarello, mate, thought it was the anus assault. Anglo got it. Yeah. So for people who don't know, in 12 years of a YouTube channel, I got offered to promote. Imagine a like a rubber latex belly button to mid thigh of a lady with like a wahine and a anus that you could sort of put things in, and no arms, no head, no legs and feet. Not that that would have made it any better or worse. But in Cambodia, that would have got stopped in the post, and I'd have probably got asked to leave the country. I mean, this is one of the differences between me being an immigrant here and being an immigrant in the UK. I'm a second-class citizen here. There's no doubt about that. If I collide with another motorbike on the street, that'll be on me, because I'm not from here. That's how it should be, and I live that. Schrodinger's Gaffney. I bought one of those bums from you, Chris. Very pleasant. I never fucking sold any. I never even advertised. Nice to see you here, Gaff. But come on, man. My reputation's bad enough. Hello, Vincent. I'm trying to go back to see some comments that were coming up throughout the conversation. But weirdly, my window's about that big. I can see three conversations at the one thing. Quadrex, give me some big love. Nice one, Quadrex. That's lovely. Mock covers, different novel. Come on, Dirk, cut me some slack. It's hard work being a failed writer. 42 wrote me a lovely email about all the marches and the fires the other night and the orange marks. I don't understand a word of all that Northern Irish stuff, but I do like to listen and try and learn. Ditch the sportswear, agreed. I mean, there is a place for it, like if you're playing sport. There's another super chat just come in. Oh, amazing. It is. See, I can't even fucking see it. It won't let me see it. Alexander's been a member for 11 months. Nice one, Alex. Marciano Caprascia Tutti. Who else we got here? Willow says, I've never seen Packer talk so much. I think that's the winning comment of the night. OG Scrubs will get that. Dotty, hello Dotty, how are you, love? She agrees. Sharply dressed, yeah, without a doubt. When I put my whistle on and my cravat and I iron my shirt and I get my waistcoat all lovely pressed, polish my good Lord, it's been so long since I bought them, I can't remember who makes them. Polish my lovely shoes. You get treated differently, and you need to get treated differently. It helps you progress in life. And what does progressing in life do for you? It allows you to get your hands on more resources. Microsoft Paint is underrated. The weird thing is, because this new novel is about a 14-year-old, it might make sense to make it on Microsoft Paint because it should look a little bit shit. But it's a fine line between looking a little bit shit and being shit. And so I might not want to, I don't know if I want to necessarily go there. Alexander says, Dangerfield got such a savage name, World War II vibe. And on Amazon, my account is Dangerfield. My writing name won't be Chris Dangerfield, it'll be Dangerfield. Yeah. Yeah. I can't really brag about it. My old man gave it to me for nothing. Trying to get back up to the top there, trying to get some of those early comments. He was talking about a fella. There's Loki. Oh, that one went past too fast, so I can't. This is a terrible thing. I think it was a conversation as well. I think it was good. Pizzle's having curry tonight. Alan's spreading the love like he tends to. Yeah, fair play, Loki. Like I said, again, I won't keep saying it because it will just keep reminding you. But if you want to talk, even if you just want to email back and forth, you know, they'll be brief because I get 100 odd emails a day with work. But I'm there because what you're going through is probably one of the worst things. And I'm happy to support you. I also want to put a massive shout out to Wolfie. I had a customer refuse to return a product because he said he was disabled, but he wanted a refund. Now, Amazon is so customer centric. If he'd have pushed enough, they would have probably said, I've got to refund him because it was faulty on arrival. Even though it wasn't, we test them before we send them. And I asked the scrubs on this stream, I said, anyone live near Eastbourne? There's a little job. There's a drink in it for you. And Wolfie come through, which meant I could say to the customer, I've got a courier, give me a day and a time, he'll come and collect it, then I can refund you. And Wolfie stepped up and I give him 20 quid today. And he said, the cheeky bastard even sent me an email saying, heard any more about that bloke? I'm skint. So I thought, fair enough. So I give him 20 quid. Another super chat. Mad Lizzie drops a score. Lizzie, is that for the Scrubs wall? Lizzie says this, I've been following you 14 years. Come up on my Facebook. Only winding you up. You can live where the hell you want. Hang on, what have I missed here? I've been following you 14 years. Came up on my Facebook, only winding you up. You can live where the hell you want. UK shithole, so they say. I'll love it here. I'm alive. Shout out to John Palmer. Ozzy Osbourne died. I'm immornate. Lizzie, you've just spent a 20. You can get a brick on the Scrubs wall if you want. If you want one, tell me what you want. Lizzie, Mad Lizzie, whatever. In your next message. Doesn't have to be a super chat. And if don't think you'll be alone, it's the most ridiculous grift in Scrubs history. The Scrubs wall is getting absolutely huge. Look, they're all bricks on the Scrubs wall. I'm now having to move on to page duh. People who are here, who aren't usually here, give it a go occasionally. We have some cracking streams, man. Just pop your head in. I'm also making a lot more videos recently. I made one today. Thank you, Lizzie, for that donation. I made a stream today about that absolute. I don't want a curse word. Melt, the absolute melt, Gary Stevenson. Well, we need a revolution. We need to change the world. All our kids aren't going to be out. Our kids aren't going to be able to eat. Our kids aren't going to be able to eat. I made a video about him today. I tell you what, it got about 300 views in about 30 minutes. That's fast for my channel, and a lot of engagement as well. So check that out after this video if you wish. My co-host must have felt totally out of place. Hello, Packer. 'Twas a good back and forth with some round and round. Back and forth, round and round, in and out. Shake it all about. Nice one, Picard. An absolute pleasure. Right, people, it's now 1:20 in the morning. Let me grab something since Alan's in, and it's been a while since I see him. We'll go original. We'll go back to the source. And I think most of you knows what that means. Listen, people, thank you for turning up. Thank you for turning up. This one in particular, it was great to have an audience. It was great because what you had there was two friends who actually disagreed with each other, got quite emotional. I could tell Tim was, I could tell I was, but we entered it as friends and we left it as friends. Great stuff. I learned something. I don't know if Tim learned something. We'll see, but I certainly did. And hang on, I think, no, not another super chat. Let me just check the old buy me a coffee. I don't want someone to have sent one over while I've been jabbing. Dotty did. Look, lucky I checked it. Dotty sent one. Chris, you may be far across the sea, but you'll always be English to me. Fair play, Dottus. Fair play, Dottus. Alexander's 100 knock. Dude, Dangerfield, I've been following you since before the 2015 ethno-nationalist rumble. You've always been real, mate. You be you. It's why we love you. Fair play, fair play. Fair play, fair play, Alexander. Barney Rubble. We're always in Barney Rubble around here, son. Chris, you were part of the vanguard. You pushed the Overton. You can live wherever. You can live wherever. Eternal thanks. Yeah, I kind of think that. I kind of think that. Funnily enough, I talked to the iconoclast a little bit. Well, just a few back and forths on WhatsApp, and he mentioned something about receipts. You know, someone like Hugh. Me and Hugh. The thing is, me and Hugh, more so me, I think we all know, got so much. Thank you, Barney and Alexander, for the donations. I got so much of this shit back in the day. And Hugh's channel On the Offensive was amazing. Hugh's video. Put an O in the chat if you thought On the Offensive was one of the best dissident right channels ever. Do you remember Hugh's videos? Because I'm a mate of his, I know they used to take him weeks. He'd get home from his day job and he'd be making them, getting the materials together and editing them for weeks. And then I think more than half of them got banned. So, and this was before the days of Rumble and all that, and D Live. Remember D Live? That came and went. So he'd spend all that time on a video, put it up on YouTube, and they'd just take it down, and they'd get a strike. Speaking of which, you know, I made those 2 Dragon's Den videos, and I said I didn't even have to appeal. Yes, I did. I got a message today saying one of them, this is a copyright claim from Sony, and I didn't do the dispute, because if you do a dispute, you always lose them. Then you have to do an appeal, and an appeal is an actual legal. You know, they tell you to seek legal advice. If I lose the appeal, I can get a strike. If I lose the appeal, I can also lose my channel. But since I've won the other 36 appeals, I'm hoping I'll be all right, because that would be a terrible shame, wouldn't it? Pag says, I'm concerned about the situation in the Netherlands. I don't live there, but my brother does. Stop talking about it. That was a joke. Cheers, JP. That was very kind of you. That was a lovely comment from Barney as well. I just want to see what Mad Lizzie wants on her Scrubs brick. Hello, Bill. How are you, son? I just see the blogs turn up. Well, not turn up. Maybe he's been here for a while. Hello, Pipe. Yep, I mentioned Black Pigeon Speaks earlier. Nearly 500,000 subs. Talks about the UK. Talks about America. Lives in Japan. Great channel. Devon Tracy, another one. Digital Nomad. You don't like him. You don't like Devon Tracy. Devon Tracy's absolute. He's a solid bloke. Did I just see the Spanish chicken lurking? Good Lord. Pipes on the firm. Nah, he's had about 12 channels banned. Regardless what you think of his politics, he's had 12 channels banned because he talks honestly about race. That's it. And he goes there. I think Devon Tracy red-pilled. I'd almost go as far as say 1 million people. You know what incredible production values his videos were, with all that Fuji's thing at the end, all the different versions. Don't know what that was. Sounded more like Requiem in G Muna. Alexander says, you're all right, Chris. The YouTube AI profiles a different demographic at this point. I don't know what's going on there. Blog says to lose your email account too. Don't ever use a real one. I'm not sure you'll get much conversations with a fake email account. I'm only pulling your plonker. Yeah, I'm with you, Nianthos. He's a good friend of mine and a great content maker. He's now over on Gavin McInnes's censored.tv, and there's a clip of Gavin saying that Devon is their most most successful content maker on there. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm with you, Pizzle. It was great stuff. Oh, I thought I misread your comment then. I thought you didn't like him. I thought he wasn't a fan. Yeah, that was all a bit strange. I mean, what I said to Devon was, it's not so much that you support Hillary, it's the fact that you believe she's going to do what she says she's going to do. I mean, that was my point. No, he's a good lad. You've got to have friends that you don't agree with. You know, who wants someone who's just polite and agrees with you? They drive you mad. They drive you up the wall. It's just awful. You try and have a conversation with someone, they're like, yeah, I suppose you're right. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, show some fucking balls. I mean, they might agree with you sometimes, and that's all right. But, no. Shoe on head, excuse me, is still around and is a woke leftist. I bet you didn't expect me to say that and be telling the truth, did you, Pipe? And that's absolute legit. Pags thought the Fugees ruined it for everyone at the movies. Mad Liz has dropped a lady and she said, you've grown loads. Sunday prescription, hysterical. You wasn't meant to make a channel about race. Not exactly. If anyone hasn't checked out my Sunday prescriptions, go to my YouTube channel, go to videos, then go to oldest. You get popular, newest, oldest. Go to oldest. You can see them because it's like a pill packet graphic. My favorite is number 16. There's 32 of them. It was just me improvising absolute nonsense, but I built up a nice crowd of people. Thank you, Liz. Liz, what do you want on your Scrubs brick, or do you not want one? Arius said, show some balls. You want dick pics, as is Arius's like. Right, Lizzie, I'm looking now because you've probably written it already and I've missed it. So I'm literally waiting for your next comment so I know what you want on your Scrubs brick. Do you even know what a Scrubs brick is, Liz? I talk to the iconoclast all the time, Pipe, still a very good friend of mine. I talked to him today, talked about this video, talked about what I was going to say, and talked to Tim. IR says is what he's saying is he's calling out the cowards currently running away, not your average expat or foreign supporters. Apologies if you've already sorted it out. I don't want to say anything more about the conversation about Tim being here because it's not fair. It's easy for me to say, well, I actually said this and he would not. It's just not fair. Hello, James. Why is this getting smaller and smaller? What the hell is going on? That's a really funny comment from Liz, though. After the Sunday prescription, it's weird that I ended up talking about ethno-nationalism. But it was relevant to talk about that at the time. And it helped move the Overton window. You know, I think, you know, it was 7-8 years ago. And you know what I really like about it? All those arseholes who used to fill my inbox, they'd sign me up to loads of Islamic dating sites and really weird shit like amputee porn websites. And every day I'd have to just delete them all. And then just, you know, and then that geezer that clipped that bit where I said, well, you can send photos of you when you're a child if you want. And it was like Dangerfield to pedophiles and all this nonsense. They're all gone. They're all, where are they now? Sitting in a corner of a pub with piss in their pants. I do take a certain amount of pleasure knowing that they didn't have the balls for it. They couldn't stand the heat. I'm still looking for Lizzie's comment. Can anyone help me? Has Lizzie put something in the chat, like a one word or something, or does she not want a Scrubs brick? And please, please, John Palmer or the usual suspects, don't write something ridiculous. Maybe she's still thinking about it. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. Dangerfield fucked a dog. No, Dangerfield was a comedian who done a routine about having sex with a dog. There's a very big difference. Stupid. Laura Towler, bless her, lot of respect for Laura. Laura Towler once telegrammed me. She said, listen, I have to ask, did you have sex with a dog? And I wrote back, I have to answer, no. Hello, Winstoner. Alexander has gifted 5 memberships. Fair play, Alex. So if you did toggle your thing, you might be a member now. And members, we do voice chats in the Discord server. Look out for notifications. Set your phone or your computer to YouTube notifications. Members only get notified. And we just sit there, voice only, hour and a half. And it's just like sitting around in a cafe, really. Cup of tea. Had a couple this week. Really good stuff. So there are perks for members after all. Thank you, Alexander. That's very kind. Right, people, I am out of here unless Lizzie. I'm going to sort it out with Lizzie another day because my missus is probably still trying to get to sleep. That's the kind of thing I was hinting at, Pags. So I'm just checking over there. I'll just check entropy again before we go. Yeah, we're all good there, I think. Lovely. Did you enjoy the video at the start of today? If you didn't see the video I made today, go and see it. There's a new intro that Brick Tater made for me as well. It's very nice. Helped me sell my new novel. And if you do like reading, please go and check out my Substack. If you know, I am a writer. I've been writing for 32 years, published. But my Substack, which is doing really well, had thousands of reads. First link in the description after the chat, you know, the actual description. Go over there, read some stories, comment, let me know what you think. If you did like it, if you didn't like it, I'll learn either way. That would mean a hell of a lot to me if you were to do that. And ladies and gentlemen, on that, I am out of here. Here's a bit of music. I will continue to put your comments on the screen while the music plays. This should bring back some memories. And bless you all for coming. It was good to have a good audience and hope to see some more of you again next time. I'll probably stream on Friday night. Maybe see you there, usually about 5 or 6 UK time. All right, people? Here we go. Check this one out. Ta-da! Wine on screen.
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to
Good call, James or Lizzie or
in
both.
the world of mankind. There's someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a time. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in man. All the world loves the lovers, all the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live.
Where's my email, Dave? Where's my email?
There's a place that is waiting for you. A world where the best in life is free. Where time is always spring. Happiness is king. dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in
Okay, people, what was I going to say? I had something to say, but I've forgotten. Damn, it's important as well. Oh, man. Probably say it afterwards. Well, check out the video I made. Oh, yeah, like this stream. Like the stream, yeah? Put a thumbs up on it, and then more people get to see it. It's worth watching. Ta-da.
all the world.
Back at you, Adam.
All the girls in every land, the man to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of man.
I think that's what is tapentadol? Morphine mixed with something else, isn't it? I can't quite remember what, but yeah, why not? Crack on, son. It's your life. Enjoy. What am I doing? Stopping sharing that. Okay. There's so many more messages, but I'm done all with them. Where am I? Am I even on the screen? Get back on there, son. Get rid of that comment. I enjoyed that, people. I hope you did. I'll be streaming Friday. Come along. I'll make it a call-in. You can come on. We can maybe talk about some of the things that came up between me and Tim. We certainly are us Sufist. Absolutely lovely. And I'll leave that one on the screen because it's absolutely lovely. Actually, it got beaten by Packers £2, but I'll give you a bit of time to read it. And hopefully I'll see you all Friday. Look after yourselves. I'll give you a massive hoita.